Hey people, welcome back. Today we have a different kind of video. We will replace the shell of this old Nintendo 64 for a brand new one. So let me tell you a little bit about this particular Nintendo 64. I purchased this Nintendo 64 from eBay as for parts only, meaning they were selling it as if the unit was not working. And the best part is that they were asking only $20 for it. Now the interesting part is that the photos of the console were showing it without the lid for the jumper pack, and there was no jumper pack in the console. So I asked the seller if he had tested the console the way it appears on the photos. He answered saying that yes, he had tested the console and that it would turn on, but nothing would show up on the screen. At that point, I went to check his page and see what other items he had for sale. I got to the conclusion that the seller was not video game specific and he had other various items for sale, meaning he was probably a thrift store reseller and that he probably didn't understand much about video games. Now, if you don't know much about video games, you won't know that the Nintendo 64 needs the jumper pack or the expansion pack in order to function properly. And if you try to turn it on without them, the console will turn on but won't display anything on the screen. So that's when I decided to pull the trigger and buy the N64. And even if in the end the console did not work, I would have wasted only $20. Well, in the end, my assessment of the situation was right. I received the N64, gave it a nice clean, and inserted the jumper pack. I turned the console on with a game, and it was working just fine. So all that it was missing is the jumper pack. But keep in mind, the console is in no way perfect shape. When I received it through mail, it was very dirty and dusty. It also came missing the jumper pack dust cover and the jumper pack, like I said. Also, this Nintendo 64 shell has many flaws. It has numerous scuffs throughout the shell. This part here is broken, as you can see. And on the left controller port, has a crack on the Player 1 connector. So that's when I decided that replacing the shell for a new one would be a fun project, and I don't mind it because I already have a nice OEM Nintendo 64 in my collection. Without further ado, let's get into it. And here it is. The replacement shell actually came in a nice package. I ordered it from AliExpress and I paid only $27.61, with shipment included. Not bad. I really like the way this package looks. Really nice quality. I hope that it represents the quality of the shell replacement as well. So let's open it and see how it looks, and what else it comes with. Nicely wrapped in bubble wrap. I like that. It means it was well protected during shipment and the chances of withstanding damages are lower. Ooh, what a good first impression. I love this blue. It looks so good. I'm already digging it. It looks to be of really good quality. And here is more bubble wrap, probably containing the rest of the shell replacement parts. Yep, and there it is. All the other smaller parts. Cool. Here's the dust cover for the N64DD connector. These are the flap covers for the cartridge connector. These are the N64 front feet, the jumper pack dust cover, the multi-port shroud, power and reset buttons. And these, well, I don't really know what they are. We will figure it out. Last but not least, the light diffuser. And here is the bottom shell. And this little package here, I imagine is the jewel with the N64 logo. Yep, there it is. Looks good. Let's compare real quick with the original N64 jewel. Definitely not exactly the same. The colors are a bit different and the letters of Nintendo 64 are a little off as well. But overall, not bad at all. We can only notice the differences when comparing side by side. But once it's by itself, no one will ever know it's not an OEM jewel. I also noticed there is some other stuff on the other side of the box. Oh, cool. They provided some tools with the shell replacement. I have my own tools already, but I can appreciate this in case the customer doesn't own the necessary tools for the project. Cool. For the sake of the video, I will use the tools they have provided. Cool. Looks like we have everything we need. Nothing missing or broken. All right, let's get into it. First, we remove the jumper pack dust cover. Then remove your jumper pack or the expansion pack using a tool, prying it out from the back. Just like this. Then flip the N64 around. Remove the N64DD connector dust cover. With the game bit screwdriver, undo all these 6 screws. There they are. Make sure you remember which screws go where. You don't want to mix screw sizes because you can potentially damage the new shell by using the wrong size screw on the wrong place. And that's the reason why I like to use this electronic soldering mat with dividers and magnets. This way you can keep the screws separated from each other and not worrying about loosening them. Now we can flip the N64 over and remove the top part of the shell, just like this. Remove the screws that hold the bracket for the cartridge connector flap covers. Use the larger Phillips screwdriver. We will need to use these springs from the flap covers because the new shell replacement doesn't provide them. Notice that the flap covers have 2 shapes in order to guide you where they should be positioned. The one with round corners design is the flap cover for the front of the console. Take a look. The one with square corners design indicates that it's the flap cover for the back part of the console. Now remove the spring from the old flap and transfer to the new one. Make sure that the little part of the spring is against the inner part of the flap cover, so it can actuate properly. Like this. Do the same with the other flap cover. Now we can put the flap covers and the top shell aside and start working on the lower part. In order to remove the main board, we will need to undo all these 14 screws. Take note. Again, make sure you remember where the screws go. Don't mix the sizes or you may damage your brand new shell. Once you have removed all the screws, just lift the main board. And then, remove the RF shield. Don't forget to remove these 2 metal brackets. Now let's start preparing the top part of the new shell. Add the power button. And add the reset button. Now flip the new top shell around and add the flap covers to it. Remember that the flip cover with round design corners goes towards the front of the console and the one with square corners designed towards the back. And remember those 2 little parts I didn't know what they were? Well, they are actually the replacement for the bracket that holds the flap covers in place. Take a look. The step-down side goes towards the front of the console. And again, make sure that the flap cover with rounded design is installed towards the front of the console. Now we can put the top part aside and focus on the bottom part. Get the little metal brackets and install on the new bottom shell. Just like this. Let's install the light diffuser. Here's the new one, but it's too clear in my opinion. I think the light will be too strong, so in this case, I will keep the OEM light diffuser. As you can see, the OEM is a lot more opaque and I think it will look better. That's perfect. Now, in this step, I forgot to install the RF shield, and I installed the main board without it. I remembered once I had the whole console assembled, and of course I had to disassemble to correct it. So, don't do it like me. Do it right first try. Put the RF shield like this. Next, the main board. Okay, we are ready to install all the screws back so we can secure the main board to the bottom of the console. Just remember that it will be a lot harder to install these screws to the new shell. The reason being is that the new shell screw poles do not have threads yet. The threads will be created as you install the screws to the new shell. So don't be afraid and put some strength on it. Also, remember to install the correct screw sizes on the correct places. Don't mix them and make notes if you need, or even take pictures as you disassemble something. It's always a good practice if you're doing a project like this. And by the way, if you are enjoying this content and my channel, please consider subscribing. I have a lot more videos coming up and planned. Videos showing my collection, gameplay, more unboxing, and much more. I do appreciate you all. We are almost done. Install the screws for the AC power connector. And here is a little trick. In case the screwdriver is not magnetic, just hold the screw on the screwdriver with your index finger and proceed to install. Another trick is, try not to over-tighten the screw, or you may also damage your new shell. Make it snug, but not tight. Now, the multi-port shroud. I forgot to put it in place before I secured the main board, but it's not a big deal. Just align the front of the shroud with the inner wall of the shell and press it down. It should just get in place without issues. Just like this. Secure it with the 2 screws. That's it, all secure. Last few screws on the main board. Let's put the top shell on, but make sure the power button aligns with the power button on the main board, or you might damage it. Awesome, looking good. Now we flip the console and screw the top shell to the bottom shell. Install the N64 dust cover. Install the jumper pack. And then the jumper pack dust cover. Finally, the final touch. Peel off the sticker side of the N64 Jewel and put it in its place. And there it is. I think it looks really, really good. I love the transparent blue. Do you all agree? Does it look good or not? What color would you do instead? Leave your opinion in the comment section. I'm honestly very happy with the result, and I love the color. I am really digging this new shell, and I do think it's really a good quality product. I will eventually replace the left controller port. It's just hard to find. I found many right side, but not the left side yet. But for now, it's just fine. I also wish they had the Nintendo logo here on top, but I understand why they don't add it to the shell. Now, in my opinion, the only con with this product is that they did not include some reproduction stickers for the bottom of the console and the Nintendo customer care service number. That would just complete the look and make it look more official. But I believe I can find those on eBay. Anyways, I still think it looks great. Do you all agree?
Close till I get up. Time is barely on our side. I don't wanna waste what's left. The storms we chase are leading us.